Like, if it's too gory, I will, like, close my eyes. Especially, like, the love scenes where it's all the noise being made with it. I start feeling like I'm intruding on a little private moment.
Twilla, you're the one who told me about Insecure. You're the one who told me about Power. Those are the two most over. You watched all Game of Thrones, which I still haven't watched.
But I'm telling you what I did during those movies. What I'm saying
is, you do not turn away. You watch.
I do. This is what I'm telling you. I can recognize
Raisinets.
I can recognize a good show.
Good show, good sex scene.
Listen.
You watched it.
This is how I know Dion does not know me at all. If there are scenes or something I feel uncomfortable, I will turn my head away or conveniently go to the bathroom. This is
Game of
facts.
Thrones is not in the theaters.
I can go to the bathroom in my house while it's playing.
You cannot.
Hi there.
What up?
Welcome to Random Ass Convos with Twilla and Dion.
I am Twilla.
I am not Dion.
And this is episode 36.
14. Yep.
3648.
Yo, what's up?
What's up, man? Welcome back. You just came back from Aruba. Shout out to the island folks. Twilla out there, doing her thing.
So the last time I saw you, Dion, I just checking in. I see a nicely shaved head.
Oh, yeah.
Last time it was not going as well for you up top. And we're back. We're back to the normal Dion.
I'm back to normal Dion. I had to be sexy for the culture. They was asking me, you got to pick and choose. Are you going to have hair on your face or on your head? And I was like, I guess I'll do the face thing, man, because, people were tweeting. I was trending on Twitter, and I had to keep it sexy with the bald and beautiful right there,
Looks good. Looks clean. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Sweating.
Question: would you ever do it again? Will you try your own?
Would I wear a hair unit? No.
No, you're good.
Because I tried to install it myself.
Okay, would you go to a professional to do it once more?
If there was the technology that women have when it comes to they can comb their own weaves and style it, if that was the functionality of how a man can have a hair unit, because essentially all you can do is just kind of pat it down, because you can't style it at all.
Yeah.
Because it's just on your head. It's just like a sock.
So from what I saw, I wasn't there when you did the YouTube creation on your head, but was it just like
screw you,
hair?
Rocket 3649
Don't
YouTuber?
Was it just like glue and Kanekalon hair?
It literally was glue, hair on top, and then line it up. You got to get the right glue though, man. You got to get the right glue.
Wow.
You hit the right fan, it flap up.
Like, how did it feel going into public, like, with hair? I'm really intrigued by this.
It felt like I had new boobs, and I was hoping that people didn't see it and recognize it. You walk around town, you like, man, I hope nobody don't notice that I have something. I have enhancements.
You just want it to look natural.
I just wanted to kind of blend in with society and get compliments every 2 or 3 people I run into,
Well, it's not natural if you get compliments from that many people.
Oh, yo, I see what you're doing. Oh, man, this whole thing, I'm just trying to go back out. He took the hat off today. He wore the Dodger hat, but I want to let the ladies know that your boy is back with the line.
Well, welcome back, Bowhead Dion.
Yeah.
Nice shave.
Yeah. Look like a shoulder now. Head look like Dwight Howard shoulders. So
we're here on Random Ass Conversations. We're gonna get right into it. You know the drill. There's so much to talk about, but only 3 things that we will pull from this. Was it the cup of randomness, if you will?
Yes.
You just diving right in.
Diving right in, yo, like Squeaks from gosh, what's that that movie called? I just messed up the whole punchline. Remember the movie The Squeaks, the guy from the glasses? Remember James Earl Jones was the dog? Was James Earl Jones was the neighbor who was blind and had the dog? Sandlot.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So now I created this whole world. I got to finish the punchline.
Yeah, this...
Nah. Because somebody's like, I want to hear the joke. Somebody's like, I want to hear the joke, Dion.
Nobody said that, but go for it.
Patrick.
Patrick is always
want to hear the joke, right? You on. He like, if you want, okay, see, Patrick want to see it.
All right.
I seen the light. We're live. So his name is Squeaks. Remember he dove into the swimming pool to get mouth to mouth with the girl. You remember the movie at all?
Like, I haven't seen that since it came out.
He drowned himself, not on purpose, but because he knew the lifeguard was going to pull him out and give him mouth to mouth. That was his way of kissing the girl of his dreams. So you just dove right in like Squeaks. I don't think his name is Squeaks, but it's something like that. If y'all can help me, please comment below.
I like how you like gave a whole scenario around movies, knowing I don't remember movies like that.
Well, that sounds like a personal problem, yo. You gotta seek for somebody being in the field.
I mean, I watch movies, I just don't be remembering like that. Especially
why are you leaning over into the mic like you got scoliosis?
Because my
mic. How about just leaning up? How about
my mic is not doing what it needs to do. Don't break it.
I did that.
Look.
It's broke now?
It won't do this.
Well, you gotta tighten up. We're gonna have to.
I was trying to explain that to you.
All right. Well.
And therefore, I'll just hold it like this.
Hold it like this. You were bending down like you were doing like a 100 for. Can my mama do that for Alex?
Yeah. I don't know what it is with our stand.
There we go. Freedom Party. All right. Juneteenth is now a federal recognized holiday. How do you plan to celebrate? I plan to celebrate Juneteenth how I always did in the past 15 years.
And how is that, my friend?
By learning what Juneteenth is.
Juneteenth is Black people's 4th of July. It is the celebration of when the enslaved people down in Texas finally learned of their freedom like 2 years after the actual Emancipation Proclamation. And so we celebrate June 19th. Now, Texas, I think, was a bigger thing growing up. I didn't hear about it until I was grown. Mm-hmm. Like in college, I learned about Juneteenth. We never really celebrated it.
Okay.
But, I mean, at this point, it's another holiday.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's going to be popping in Leimert Park.
Yeah.
I'm sure D.C., you got some stuff on lock for the parts of D.C. that's still Black owned. Atlanta, I'm sure you got some parties happening. But
so you don't think Juneteenth is popping in Nebraska?
Probably.
Why not?
Well, there is a Black community in parts of Nebraska.
We're not a monolith. Why can't white people celebrate Juneteenth?
White people are just now learning about it this year.
So if here's a soundbite for the culture, right? If Black people can celebrate 4th of July, why can't white people celebrate Juneteenth like we do?
My brother, you bring up a good question. So 4th of July, should we really celebrate? Are we really celebrating freedoms that we weren't given at the same time as these other men? In 1776, we are still fighting for our freedom. I don't even know if we should be celebrating Juneteenth.
You know what I'm going to hit you with? Anna la Bosha. Mm-hmm.
But, no, real talk. When it comes to Juneteenth, this is coming in the midst of when, like, states and school districts are firing teachers and trying to pass laws against teaching critical race theory and, like, truths and realities around slavery. So we gotta now have a new holiday where that celebrates the end of slavery, but you can't even teach real slavery in school. You couldn't even teach this holiday in school, and so it's like, I feel like the wheel got moving last year when, after protests, and we're just like, hey, you got to recognize America. We got some inequality problems. And although I think Juneteenth as a nationally recognized holiday is a nice gesture, there's like some real battles. We just ask, stop killing us.
Right.
Don't take away our voting rights. Let our kids learn their real history. Like, let's learn equality. And you're like, I know what we'll do. We're gonna grant this holiday right here. They'll shut up. Like, that's what it feels like.
So the freedom, the real freedom of slavery is the purpose of Juneteenth, right?
Yeah.
What if United States finally grants this George Floyd Policing Act, just say for the sake of easy, September 3rd, right? Is that considered a holiday? Because that's such a huge fight throughout the culture. Yeah. If it was September 3rd, is that something to celebrate?
Well, I mean, like, and if that was the same sense, like, we got to celebrate the day that the Voting Acts, right, was passed. Because that was huge for us.
Everything we're celebrating is a win. It's an accomplishment.
But you have to, like, in a way, celebrate. Like, when you think about, like, the ending of the enslavement of a people, where basically it was like you're going from being considered as property, less than property, not subhuman is what we were considered, 3/5 of a person. Like, for that, hundreds of years, our ancestors were deemed just that. To go from, like, an enslaved person to assuming, full citizen. At that time, that's what happened. That's a big deal. That is, all these fights and wins in between that's incremental are important, yes, and ultimately adds to our full rights as citizens. But, like, going from a slave, going from a subhuman to a human, I don't know if that's celebration worthy, because that's just like what we were in the first place. But being recognizing that this battle that was well fought for centuries finally gave us some rights. Like, that is a holiday. That is a big deal.
Can I be the white devil's advocate?
Go right ahead. I like this.
You like to be a white devil's advocate? Imagine being a slave owner and then the Emancipation Proclamation.
Who?
I'm not even going to try to fix that.
Woo. The Emancipation Proclamation. Emancipation Proclamation. Amen. Right? Yes.
When the act of freeing slaves happened, and your whole world, you didn't start slavery,
right?
Because this is 400 years,
right?
You were at the tail end of slavery as a slave owner. Your whole life, your grandpa was a slave owner. And then all of a sudden, he was like, yo, we're going to have to stop this. Stop this? It was like, my whole life has been this. Imagine the new slave owner. That was like, my first day of being a slave owner. Hey, man, they canceled this. What? No!
First of all, that person who just got it, like, missed the whole, 4 years of the civil rights, the Civil War?
Yeah.
Like, missed all that, like, bad timing, like, would not be good at stocks today at all. Like, so, first of all, shout out to that person who's not a good business person.
That's funny.
But at the same time, like, there was, since the beginning of slavery, a conversation about the wrongs and rights of it. Other countries outside the U.S. had already started to outlaw slavery. Right. Like, so there wasn't a question. There were states in the United States that did not accept slavery. So the question, like, it wasn't a question of morality, but then it was like also how people frame their mind around it. Like, by saying, oh, well, they're not real people, they need us. Like, that kind of makes them feel better about themselves.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess, like, I can't sympathize at all on the culture, because think about the economy of this. White people, or, there were some black slave owners too. So anybody who owned enslaved persons only had to provide housing and shelter for these people. And I don't know if you've been to the South and seen, like, these plantations and the homes, like the little shanty homes, like very small, tiny homes on the property where slaves lived, wasn't much at all. It was like just wood walls and like a roof. That was it, and that's all, and food. But we got the slops. That's how we know how to make chitlins, and that's how we know, like,
I think you're going too far from the point.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna bring it back in. But basically, the economy of it all was that they were getting rich off the backs of people doing labor that they didn't have to pay nothing for. Right. So it was just like, I can't feel sorry for you.
Yeah, but if that's life, like imagine, you are a people that ride horses.
A jockey?
No, the other one, not the jockey. That's
an equestrian.
Equestrian. Like, what if all of a sudden horses got rights? You know what I'm saying? Hey, we are not your ride. Like, whoa, I have literally raised your family. I've made so much money off of you. People pet you. We feed you. We gave you blinders. We gave you shoes. It's like, nope. We are free, and we are going to live our lives as people, and we're gonna, raise our children. You like, no, you can't. And they like, I don't know what to do without you. I can't run races at the Kentucky Derby.
Exactly.
So what I'm saying is like you're saying like that was their, like, so you're saying as in black people were slaves and white people, like, you were enslaving people, and it's a bad thing. We know that, but we're looking at like equestrians as like, yeah, that's what they normally do. It's their lives. This is what they do. They raise horses, they ride them, but they make money off of them.
But they didn't go the distance as to, like,
if you say whip, they definitely still whip them.
No, I'm saying, like, they didn't say horses can't read, because what we know, horses can't physically, like, can't read.
Right.
But like black people were banned from banned from learning from reading. The way that they were punished was to feel subhuman, to know their place. There was things to make sure that that kept the enslaved people from, even daring to act human, like that sort of thing. So, like, I'm saying, like, even though it was a way of life, they still knew it was wrong. Yeah, criminals live a certain life. This is listen, because I let you use an animal analogy when you're talking about people.
I'll say imagine.
So
I didn't say we are animals.
Right. So I'm saying that, like, you can say, this is what I know, this is what everybody is doing. But if you grow up in, like, you have people who grew up around, like, I don't know, like, very bad.
I did. I grew up in a very bad neighborhood. I did not know a lot of things that we were doing were crimes. We would put bleach in super soakers and spray people in drive-bys. We would put soup in post office boxes just for no reason. We broke glass everywhere. Just to kind of...
So y'all was baby's kids.
Yes. We were bad. Those are crimes, but no one taught us that this is a problem.
I still feel like there was national conversation. If you study abolitionist history, if you study the Civil War, if you study all these things, and they didn't care about the people's rights. They only cared about their own personal economy. And that's still what we see to this day happening in America. So it's not an issue of I didn't know better. It's an issue of this is what is convenient for me, and this is what gives my family wealth. And I can't feel sorry for that. Like, there's things like, for example, billionaires who currently get around tax breaks and don't give certain money and don't pay people certain living wages, but getting richer, and we see the gap growing. Like, that's still wrong, but they don't care because they're only caring about their personal legacy.
Right.
And that's what the same thing was happening in slavery.
You're still siding with us because we're in that life. But what I'm saying, you haven't had your lifestyle stripped from you. So imagine the lifestyle you're living right now to a point of you're living with just this outfit on the street in Albuquerque, Mexico, starting from scratch. You don't have a cell phone. It's like, why should I sympathize with that person? It was like you got so much stuff stripped from you.
Yeah.
And so
I'm not doubting that it was hard.
Right.
I'm not doubting that was a difficult time.
And I'm not siding with white people. I just said I can see how and why they're putting up such a fight, because it's like, man, so much of my grandparents had told me how great they had it.
Right.
And now all this is slipping through our cracks.
Right.
So imagine every year you made $100,000, and every year it goes down $10,000.
Yeah, I absolutely know that was hard for them. And guess what?
You don't care.
Well, that's not what I was going to say, but I don't. But I was going to say that it's the same struggle. Like, when I say it's the same struggle that's being faced with today, like the reason people are fighting so hard against our actual history, like true history being taught, because the history that we're being taught, I don't know if you really know, is like the Daughters of the Confederacy helped shape the school curriculum that we teach in history in a lot of schools, especially in the South. And then like you have nowadays, like I don't know if you heard about like when they talk about slaves, like when the Africans volunteered to come over. Like
I get it.
Like, so it's like you're trying to water down history because it's
my grandpa, man.
You want your grandpa to be in a good light.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want these little black and brown children to learn real history.
Absolutely.
And then as we're growing into the majority and white people are now becoming the minority, you're like, oh my gosh, they're going to come for us.
Yeah.
It's scary, that shift of power, losing power.
Right.
But it is inevitable. If you study history, it always happens in every empire.
It's a business.
Yeah.
Slavery was a business, right? Imagine your inherited business is slowly slipping through the cracks of your hands, and it's like, we gotta fight for it. Like, I am not for slavery at all. I just want people to understand how I get it. like if white people can understand that we never were on equal playing fields, but a lot of black people are looking like, why don't they get it? It was like, you gotta put yourself in their shoes a little bit, man. But I'm not giving them any sympathy, but I want people to be like, stop, like from both sides. I want white people to see what black people are going through, and I want black people to see what white people are going through, because it's not going to equally be like, okay, let's shake hands and understand this. But it had to be somebody on the white field, on the white side, that was like like the first person that had like an epiphany, like, hey man, you ain't gotta hit the brother that hard. hey man, slow down, brother. Jasper he just forgot his basket, man. You ain't gotta hit him that hard, man. And it was like, this is inhumane. This is weird. Like, they have him drink, like, hey, this is a question. You think we can just kind of like let them?
Do you know what's so foul about slavery? Yeah. I don't think, like, as a Christian, this bothers me so much, that like there were certain Bible verses that were, this happens throughout history, that you take scripture, twist it, and use it for your own upbringing. So then you have like people for centuries who learned the wrong thing about the scripture, about the Bible. And then like, I think right now, this is a whole nother topic, but you see like, people are like, that scripture don't even mean that. Like, how did we come to that understanding of that scripture? Or like, it's being used to oppress so many different groups, and it's just like, God can't be pleased with that. Like,
well, there was slavery in the Bible,
right?
So people, they probably definitely took advantage of that.
They took advantage of that, but then you also have to know, like, we learned that in order to interpret Bible and to understand what's happening, you also have to understand the society that scripture was taking place in. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't the terms of slavery that America did was nothing like like the Romans got really bad in slavery, but a lot of times culturally it was just like, you lose war, you're an indentured servant for 7 years, or whatever. Like, there was a chance at freedom.
Right.
This one was like chattel, like is the worst form of slavery.
Yeah.
Known in history. So like we took it to another level. Like it was just a cesspool of evil. But I can talk on that.
Yes, you can.
You know me.
So let's go to the next one. I apologize.
You got me hot. I just want to celebrate Juneteenth, man.
Yeah. You know what, man? I love life. I love being black.
I do.
You know.
Okay. This is first of all, Dion. Can we say that this time I actually hand wrote these?
Oh!
And it's horrible.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Look how much.
Today, Twilla handwritten.
Yeah.
I'm not even taking it back. I messed up. I'm not even taking it back.
Look how many times I had to rewrite these things.
Written her little write out things or her random ass conversations.
I can barely read it.
And
I had to rewrite.
I want her to understand that she is
not gonna do
in progression. Not even gonna fix it. Leave it as is.
I don't want to do this one.
Why?
Never mind. I'll do it. This is a good topic. It says parental guidance.
Okay.
Why is it, as a society, we are more comfortable in accepting of violence and gore in television and media versus love and romance scenes?
That is a fantastic question, Twilla Tangy.
That's the full government.
People got to Google you now. What's crazy is the reason why I believe that sex, kissing, romance is more accepting in children, parental guidance, is because no, it's reverse, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's something to think about, right?
It is something to think about. It's a tough question. Because, I think in Looney Tunes, maybe. Looney Tunes, yeah, because Looney Tunes, they were blowing heads off and it was funny.
You're dropping anvils on people.
Anvils, Home Alone, it was silly. And then once you add a little blood, it's just like, y'all good with that? Y'all good with that? And I think when it came to romance, kissing, it became, hey, don't watch that because I have a problem with that and I know how that makes me feel. So I want you to stay away from the soft porn, if you will, even though there's, kissing, loving, hugging, rubbing, touching, bumping uglies. And you know what I'm saying, when it comes to certain films, they don't want their child to stay away from that because it's like I don't want my child to see any sort of perverted images because that's going to give them feelings and
right.
Yeah,
I think it's really interesting because people are we're a society. America loves the saying sex sells, and they'll use provocative images to sell things, but you can't show a naked human body, a naked statue, certain things like that are looked down upon. A woman's body is often looked down upon, or not looked down, not looked down upon.
Man is.
I would say, for example, it's when it comes to breastfeeding, women's bodies, you better not whip that out and feed your child.
Right.
But you can whip it out in a movie, that sort of thing. So it's,
it's funny, and as accepting breastfeeding is now in public, I've never seen a breastfeeding scene in a movie.
Because it's not sexy. So think about
I've seen a woman's fight.
I will challenge because there are a lot of women who still have although they're publicly fighting to say it's okay to breastfeed in public, it's still not accepted. A lot of women have been shamed for feeding their child in public places. So I wouldn't say that's accepted, but I will say there's elements of real life that people don't like to see. right?
Sure.
So like you're not gonna see too many movies with somebody taking a dump, right? Like,
Right.
or
Yeah.
so like, and it's also like, you know that it might be a new mom, but you might just see her like adjusting her shirt because
Yeah.
Nobody really wants.
Let me tell you something. I've walked in, not on purpose, of a new mother breastfeeding, and it's that silent like, hey, I'm feeding my child. Could you step outside? Oh. And it's like I immediately feel like a creep. So I think that can become the reason why, like, hey man, you making me feel this way. Y'all shouldn't be doing this because
If she was in a private room.
no, it wasn't. It was a production manager in the office, and I noticed when I walked out, all the men were gone.
Okay.
So when I walked in, it was you didn't know all the men had exit. So immediately so even though I ain't had the power, I was a PA. Even though I had the power to say, hey man, that doesn't make me feel good. I understand why a lot of men is like, don't make me feel like a creep when you were doing this in public. So
so the thing is, right now I know in productions that we have to actually offer like privacy rooms, or if there's a new mother who has her own office, we make sure like there's a mini fridge and something in there for the breast milk. So it's like a supported thing. But I do think that because had she just done that with all the men in the room, there would have been a statement. So I think her just like, in general, like some people do just want to do it in private.
Right.
But like if you're at a restaurant or, like your baby's crying, there's nothing you can do.
Right.
They need to eat now.
Yeah.
Then it's like, what do I do? Where do I go? I'm not feeding my child in the bathroom. That's gross. That sort of thing. But getting back to our point when it comes to the movies is that I think it's interesting that kids can play like violent video games, like all the gun games. We can watch action movies. You can watch like the gore, which we weren't allowed. Like our parents said we weren't allowed. I'm pretty sure my brothers did it, but like gore or sex was not a thing that was allowed to watch in the house.
But did you want to watch it?
No,
because we all know that Senor Tangy and Senorita Tangy was the perfect family.
No, honestly, I'm actually, there are times that like certain scenes are in movies. Like if it's too gory, I will like close my eyes. If it's like, especially like the love scenes where it's all the noise being made with it, I start feeling like I'm intruding on a little private moment. So I do kind of like just look down because I'd be like, I don't need to see this.
Twilla, you're the one who told me about Insecure. You're the one who told me about Power. Those are the two most over. You watched all Game of Thrones, which I still haven't watched.
But I'm telling you what I did during those movies. What I'm saying
is, you do not turn away. You watched 8 seasons of Power, 15 seasons of Game of Thrones.
This is what I'm telling you. I can recognize
Raisinets.
I can recognize a good show.
Time.
This is complete lies. This is how I know you don't know me.
A good show, a good sex scene.
Listen.
You watched it.
This is how I know Dion does not know me at all. Because I can recognize a good script. And I will watch a show for a good script. If there are scenes or something I feel uncomfortable, I will turn my head away or conveniently go to the bathroom.
Conveniently go to the bathroom.
This is
Game of
facts.
Thrones was not in the theaters.
Game of Thrones. I can go to the bathroom in my house while it's playing.
You cannot.
And then I stopped watching Game of Thrones because I was like, it's too much nudity. It's white. Hold on.
What season did you
Listen, can I finish my thought?
Mm-hmm.
It for the longest I was like, this is nothing but white nerd men in like who's living out their fantasies with all these women. There was always these scenes happening in brothels, and the women were just, everybody's walking around naked, but like usually just like women in certain sex scenes with women. I started back watching it because my brother was like, I promise it doesn't keep going like that. Like he was like, it does get better because it was bad.
Mm-hmm.
So I started back watching it, but there was enough. Like even the gore, like I don't have to watch those scenes. I'm good
What
without
about
it.
Handmaid's Tale? Is there any sex scenes in there?
Those are no love scenes. You know what?
I don't know what it's about.
Yeah,
so
so they're very like the scenes were very triggering.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very uncomfortable to
Oh,
watch those
wow.
scenes. Yeah.
That's uncomfortable now.
Yeah.
I don't watch Handmaid's Tale, but I know she's a fan of it. Just to kind of shake things up, let's go to the different topic because
You still
I don't know how to retaliate from
That show is very triggering.
It is. It's
so I can't even say. Well, I've heard. I've heard it's a great show.
It's a great show, and it's about like what happens when.
Spoiler alert.
No, it's this is just a simple outline of what happens in society when society tries to get back to conservative morals, and you find that women don't truly have a productive place in society. Yeah.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Next question.
Next question.
All right. This one is called Public Shame. If someone insults you or shares your secret in public, should they apologize in public or should it be in private? I'll let you answer that question first. Twilla.
Listen, if you're gonna put my business all on like in public, in front of people, if you're gonna insult me, like you need to like use that same energy, go to that same source and apologize. Like then we could go and have a private conversation. But that same energy, like I'm not.
It's crazy we live in this society, man. It's so crazy that I could be like on the Breakfast Club, like, yo, it's crazy, man, because me and Twilla back in the day, man, we used to like kick giraffes for no reason. Used to trip them. I actually seen Twilla chop off this giraffe's neck, man, in my face, man. It was crazy. And then, that's the sound bite that happens, and then that goes viral of like, Twilla is a animal killer. She chopped off, and it's like, dude, that was our private business, man. We went on a safari.
A safari.
We went on the safari in Africa, and that was our private thing. It's like, oh, dude, I'm sorry. I was just kind of flowing. It was right on topic. Dude, I am so sorry. I should have never said, no, Dion, you got to clean that up, man. You got to go back out there and apologize to the people. Like, to the people.
That's my public image.
I'm apologizing to you.
But like, you need to help do some clean up on that. Like, yes, you can apologize to me, but like, you've already put damage out there. Like, so very much like, you know what? It was in my place to come out and tell like Twilla's business. I am very apologetic for that. Any damage that it might have caused, because it's like, like that's my friend and I should have consulted her first. Yes, you have to do that because you did it with the same energy, whether you meant it or not.
I hate that we live in this world now, man. That you have to, people say stuff like the whole thing what happened with Cat Williams and Cedric Entertainer. Cat Williams said he stole his joke. He was on the podcast. He said he stole his closing joke, and then instead of Cedric going back to Cat and saying, "Hey man, I didn't steal your joke. This is the proof that I didn't steal it," and Cat Williams could have said, "I stand corrected that this happened." Cedric Entertainer had to go to the people and say, "Hey, I heard what Cat Williams was saying. I didn't steal his joke. Blah blah blah."
Why didn't Cat Williams go to Cedric first? Like, you make it public when you state it.
Well, once you get to a certain status, it's such a silly, like, I'm not afraid of anything status. Like, but there is a respect thing. Like, if it's somebody I really respect as a friend, you start to kind of like, I know this is going to go viral. I need to kind of respect. You could say there's a certain someone that you can do one of those things. I had a joke and it was stolen. You can keep it very generic.
Right. The minute you start calling names and putting specifics,
That's the problem.
like, yeah, that's my problem when going public. Like, you could do something super generic, and I might know you're talking about me, but everybody doesn't, and I could just be like, "Yo, why'd you even do that to you?"
Yeah.
But,
What if it was not name calling, but people kind of narrowed it down by what we've done? It was like, yeah, man, back in 2012, this young lady who I started a business with, met her at West Angeles. She was just
that's
toxic.
get too much detail.
It's like she was toxic, man. It was just, she would do blah 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 and this, and we had a business for a couple years, man, and it just fell apart, man.
You definitely shouldn't talk to about Cheryl like that, though.
Cheryl Duberglass. Cheryl Duberglass. That was our first employee with us. It's not. Google her. It is.
Yeah. Even
So
giving
you
those
say-
many specifics is too much.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, what if it's perfect for the subject, like to paint a picture? If it's like back in 2012, man, it was crazy, man. At the time, cell phones was kind of like a new thing because of the whole night to weekends thing. You kind of paint the picture, and like I met her at T-Mobile. We doing something like that,
Yeah. So I think your perspective is coming from somebody who has to be a storyteller / comedian and always sets up the story. My perspective is from someone who's just like, think about your consequence. Yeah. Right. Think about what could happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's not freeing, though.
It's not free.
What are you afraid of? What people think?
Well, it's also like a lot of times my story isn't yours to tell, Mm-hmm. So it's like not necessarily. So if I want to put it out there, I can, but it's not up to you to put it out there.
Sure. So what if there's a story of I'm having a struggle with something that your best friend has gone through.
Mm-hmm.
Like imagine
in private or on radio.
On radio, like you had a best friend named Earl who was secretly gay, and I'm telling you that I'm secretly gay, and I'm trying to figure out.
Not anymore.
Sure. And he told his whole story and how he came out of it, but he hasn't told the world.
I could just then say, I know somebody who went through something very similar.
Right. And he's watching the podcast like, yo, why would you tell my story?
I didn't even say, I have a friend, my dear friend. I just said, I know someone who went through something similar, and his suggestion is, or what worked for him is.
And he's like, yo, verbatim though, Twilla?
I don't
People
think
that knows you know me. Now I got to explain this to my female fiance.
Well, I told you to do that in the first place.
Anywho.
I mean, we went through 3 topics, Dion. I still feel like we got time for...
You got another one?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. We went through that.
Oh, I got to pick it.
Like Miramax. What's it got? What is that called? Miralax? Metamucil?
I don't know. I know what you're saying, actually. But
that's Metamucil.
Yeah. You right.
I think I combine laxatives and Miramax.
You're combining a lot of stuff tonight.
I think I'm having a brain seizure.
A brain fart?
No. Not even taking it. And when I mess up, I'm never going to correct myself.
I can't wait to do a reel of all the times you messed up. Like, I might make that our intern's project to do.
She's not.
Mark my words, it's coming.
Shout out to T-Pain, y'all. Shout out to T-Pain, my favorite artist, which I did not include him in my top 5. Did I not? I didn't include him in my top 5.
You didn't. This one is Mean Girl = Rude Boy ? After his wife was outed as a mean girl, Twitter has been going in on John Legend, questioning how the seemingly nice guy married a bully. Is it fair to question the spouse because of what the other one did? So you know how Chrissy Teigen was called out for all of her like Twitter drags and being mean to a bunch of different people in her very mean spirited what you call it? What's it called? Tweets.
Mm-hmm.
And even to the point that she's a bully. So as more stuff keeps coming out, people on Twitter have been like, so this says a lot about John. Like, how could he just knowingly marry a mean girl or somebody who's willing to bully? Like, is he really that nice, or is he over there bullying people with it? Like, is he egging her on?
Mm-hmm.
And so my question is it really, like, is it fair to judge John based on Chrissy's actions?
No.
That's it? No.
No. Because, you know, he's probably attracted to that. I like how you so open, but it's like, I know he's kind of like, babe, come on, sweetheart. I can't keep up with your. It's like, but you made me like yes, but now that social media is out, people getting canceled. I kind of think he loves her still unconditionally, but I feel like that has nothing to do with his brand. I don't think people are going to cancel his endorsements or anything for that. But it's like, I know people are attacking her now. He has to kind of just like be in the middle,
right?
Of should I defend her or be like, yeah, you gotta get this slander, sweetheart.
I'm gonna actually look up the
meaning of one of her tweets.
No, what one of the comments about
she was relentless.
Yeah.
She was racist. She was had a lot of pedophilia tweets.
Yeah, I didn't even look at those. This is way down. I should have shared this with you on this.
She should have put that in the docket.
I should have put it in the docket. Shout out to Nick Cannon and his new twins.
Let's talk about that real quick. What's the twins' name?
One of them Zion. I can't pronounce his middle name, and then the other one is Zillion Air. Heir. Zillion Air. Yeah.
Zillionaire.
How do you feel about that?
It's pressure, man. It's pressure. The fact that he has a twins, he dropping. I think he's. I don't want to wish that on my man. You know, we do stuff like that. It's like that 7 pounds sort of thing. Like, I gotta keep my seed going. And it's like I gotta make the world a better place. Give these opportunities to a bunch of people, because when I'm gone, I want people to be like, he was a legend. He was Tupac. Because it's like how many kids? You got 7 kids?
2, 3, 4, and 5. I think it's 5 and another on the way or something like that.
He has 7 kids. He has 7 kids. And I'm not wishing anything bad to him, but it's like he's going to leave behind Nick Cannon was the greatest person of all time vibe. Like, how many opportunities he's given to up and coming artists that has branched off.
I mean, I've been hired.
Yeah, I've been hired.
So nothing but love there.
Yeah. And it's like, you start to look like, what are you trying to do, brother? What are you doing here, man? It's like, when you start to kind of question like the futures, you know, it was like, are you doing this just for fun? Like, are you like, I'm not pulling that?
Well, let me ask you this. Like, because there's some people who aren't on Future or Nick Cannon's status when it comes to kids, who be having a ton of kids and can't afford the mugs.
Right.
Then you have people who are, have more means that will be like, I can afford to have this many kids, but they might not necessarily be able to spend that amount of time because they have the means because they have to work, hard to get it.
Yeah.
Like, so do you think there's a difference between those with means and those without means and the amount of seeds that they procreate?
Let me reword that for a tougher question. Same thing what you just said.
Uh-huh.
If there was a man who has 7 kids, an ordinary blue collar guy, by 7 different women, but spend time with his children equally. Best dad in the world, but he can't afford them. Mm-hmm. Versus the Nick Cannons and the Futures that has the money to pay for, take care of these children, but because they're such a superstar, they don't spend enough time with the child. Is that better or worse?
Right. And it's not even like that they can't spend enough time with the child, as much time with the child, is that they, unless all their kids are always together, but if they're by several different mothers, like they're probably not spending all the time together. Like I have a large family, but you know, our parents are together, so like our time,
It's pretty much collectively.
Right, collective family time. So I don't, like, there's certain things, like kids do have needs. Like you do need, you know, a roof over your head and food on your table, and some form of stability. But then there's also nothing like that time with your father. Like you can have your dad and your mom, but you value that time with your parents and the lessons that you learn when you're with your parents. So I'm sure there's a balance in there, and I'm sure that each kid from different backgrounds will have their own share of, like, I had this from my dad and I do appreciate all the time he took me fishing, you know, or stuff like that, versus like my dad made sure I was in all the best schools.
Yeah.
So like there's a benefit, there's a privilege to each one of those.
Right.
Yeah.
This is random and
How appropriate for this podcast.
Hey.
Random ass conversations. Please like and subscribe. Continue.
Very random, but it is very needed. So I'm going to Ohio this week to spend time with my father for Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to all the dads, by the way.
Listen to the full question
Uh-oh.
before you start to judge or question my morals, if you will. Is it weird to be attracted to your relatives? Right? Not like that. So, hey, don't take no sips over here of that tea. Listen. So, my daughter's probably going to kill me. But she asked me, hey, how...
We just talked about not having the specifics.
No. So she is like, hey, I have realized that I haven't seen or don't know any of your dad's side, you know, kids and all that stuff. So I was like, oh yeah, let me show you some pictures. She's like, oh my God, who was that? I was like, that's your cousin. She's like, no. And I was like, sweetheart, you can't do that. It's your cousin. It's like, he's still attractive. And I was like,
especially if you don't know them.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, is it weird? And I was like, you're right. So in my head, I'm thinking like she has every right to say this guy's attractive.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have
it just feels weird.
Right. When you realize that is your cousin or, you know, whatever. So all that to say, is it weird to be attracted to your family member, but obviously when someone tells you you have to turn that off?
Right. Because first of all, growing up in a small town, where everybody's related to everybody, you soon learn just not to date anybody, because it's like your grandma ruins it real quick. She'll be like, you know, that's your cousin. And you're like, how? And a lot of times it's like third plus removed type cousin situations. But like if you're attracted to your cousin, especially if you don't know that's your cousin, like I have never met this person in my life and I just know they're cute, that's an attraction. But
don't pursue it.
Yeah. I mean, like, but then there are groups of cousins, like I think they say after first or second cousins that it's okay to date. I don't know, because in certain families there's no distinction between like like this is your first cousins because y'all got the same grandma, but you also have those cousins that you just grew up with because they were always in the area and you always saw them. Honestly, I have cousins. I don't know if they're my second, third. Like, I just know we're all related. But yeah, there is a point of cousins that's technically okay to date. And I'm pretty sure that somewhere in a family tree, I saw, it wasn't like direct cousins. It was like a cousin through marriage, married on one side of the family, married a cousin through marriage on the other side of the family. And it just, so basically, ultimately, it's like, wait, how? We cousins on my grandfather's side and my grandma's side?
Oh, boy.
Is that okay?
Oh.
Yeah, so, I mean, it happens. Yeah. But, yeah, just, it's safer to stay away.
Yeah. Yeah.
So many other people in the world to date.
Yeah. There's a thing that went viral about somebody fall in love. They were engaged. And then they was like, I'm going to go back home to see some family. It's like, oh, I have family there. It's like, hey, is your cousin blah blah blah? Yeah, that's my cousin. And they turned out to be siblings, but they were already 4 or 5 years in.
So they done the do.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Siblings, same father.
Oh God. See, Papa was a roller.
Oh gosh, it really sucks to find that out, man. Because it's like, what do we do now? Did they have
kids? Okay.
But it's like, what do we do now? When you actually realize how much.
When you break up, you're like, so what happened?
Yeah, it's like, you got to keep the relationship.
No, you don't.
No, as in, like, not the relationship. Like, it's my sister, brother now. I'm saying, like, we can't just be like, I'm not talking to you no more.
Right, yeah. You still have.
You can break up.
Yeah, you can break up.
But it's also still like,
there's still
kind of already did it. It's like we went to Vegas.
What did they do?
I know they had sex because they had a relationship about 4 years. I'm
saying, like, did they break up? Did they?
You can't break up. For what?
Your dad is my dad.
No, I mean, as in, like, it's like saying you broke up with Bryant. Like, as in, like, you can't just stop talking to your sibling.
Right. A breakup just means we're no longer together.
Right. But you're still going to talk to that person.
You can still talk to him.
You going to talk about your past? You can't just be like, we can't talk about that no more.
Right. But then it's also like, I do feel like once you learn something new about somebody, that can take away an attraction, right?
Right.
So I'm sure the attraction changed just a little bit.
Yes, but I guarantee all your exes, no matter how far apart y'all have gotten, y'all's relationship's gonna come back up somehow. As in, like, yeah, remember the time we went to Utah together? And you was like, the toilet was stopped up. Like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Crazy night. Now you're thinking, like, that was a crazy night. But you're thinking, like, that was when we were together. Yeah. So
I mean, there's levels. There's therapy that's gonna be needed. Like, I'm not denying that. It's just
it is very jacked up.
So, and then this is happening a lot, like, not necessarily scenarios like this, but discovering that you have whole siblings because everybody's doing, like, the ancestry and DNA test, and it's like, you have a close sibling here.
Yeah.
And so people are discovering, like, especially people who didn't know their dads, like, finding out that they have siblings that live down the street, or even if you know your dad or your mom, and then he's like, oh, so who's this person? Because I just got a similar match. Like, a lot of that is happening right now.
Right.
Yeah. So that's just uncomfortable.
Yeah, man. Yeah, because I feel like it's like a new brother. It's like a new brother or sister. Because it's like yes, y'all can stop dating.
Right.
But it's like now we got to re-jump our lives. Like, hey, you're my brother. It's like, I kind of feel like I know everything about you. It's like, let's spend time with dad. It's like, this is so weird.
I think on some level, though, like, that breakup kind of has to look like, hey, I do want to know you in a different way, but I can't be around you for a while. Mm-hmm. You know, like,
you got to see me with somebody else.
Yeah, I need time apart.
Yeah.
I need to, like, work through this thing, heal. I need to get married. And then we can start talking about, like, then we can figure out, like, maybe once a year we meet up with Dad.
Right.
Thanksgiving
With
maybe
other people.
with other people.
With other people.
Yeah, because it's
it's like, but sweetheart, I can't start. Can't call sweetheart.
No,
it's
you
like,
can't.
But sister, we have a timeshare together. We have a business we started.
Yeah,
We used to.
We can't do
But we
that
had
right now.
perfect plans. Like we have a grant for $100,000.
Do you understand genetically what can happen to our child?
What I'm saying is, you can't just say we gotta break up.
This is incest. I need us to have time apart. I know you didn't know. I didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
hard.
that's a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
With that weird outro of random ass conversations,
Random ass combos. Boy, I tell you.
we will get you with the ninja bow, the troop exit. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment below. I'm just trying to find something. I'm just trying to find a niche on the exit. So you're like, hey, y'all know what the routine is. Ninja bow, troop, clap, clap. I'm trying to pick up on something.
Well, keep working on that. I think you're onto something.
Yep.
Like Dion said, be sure to like, subscribe, comment. Check out our other shows. We got some good content coming for you guys, so please support.
Here it is. Like, subscribe, and comment.
Oh, you did this twice.
I did. No, I did. Like, subscribe,
subscribe,
and comment.
comment.
It's not gonna work. We gotta figure out. Drum book.